Hey guys, Tyler2K here, doing our continued series, How to Dominate at Domination / King of the Hill. This will be the first King of the Hill match that we cover. Now granted, this is a short one, it's going to be long, short, short, long. So basically, if you want to see like the super long breakdown, check out Domination Part 1. And then if you want to check the next really long one, Domination Part 4, that will come out sometime next week. But yeah, this is going to be just a short one of two different life/deaths. And then, of course, I'm using a bad gun. I think I'm using the DB12 in this clip. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so we're spawning in. We have D site, where it's underneath apartments. We're pushing up. First and foremost, don't be these guys. So this guy ahead of me is running with the rocket launcher out. I'm not quite sure why. We know realistically that there are no enemies here, especially seeing that we see one of our teammates holding down alley. There's no reason to have your rocket launcher out. And then furthermore, why is this guy holding alley? Now, if you know this map, basically there's this kind of embankment in the center of the map that you can't really blow up or shoot through. D site is to our right, but basically there's these alleyways and he's not really covering much of anything, and come to think of it, he even has an RPG out. I don't know why, but if you're going to set up a forward base, be sure to like hold a position where you can actually effectively camp the opponents. Now granted, if you were to hold like this angle, you might be susceptible to upper apartments kind of messing your day up, but at the same time, you're able to hold and contain at least middle apartment as well as the long alleyway going into site Bravo over there. But yeah, you don't want to have a base this far back. Again, if you're going to have a forward base, have a proper forward base that has some strategic value. Don't be like these guys. Okay, so as I'm getting ready to crash into D site, I pop my anti-tech, my jammer. It's important to note that when you pop your jammer, it takes a few seconds for it to activate and then a few seconds for your gun to come out. Now, if you depress the button and throw the jammer, it takes like 4 or 5 seconds to deploy rather than like 2 seconds. But knowing I'm going to be rounding this corner soon, I know for a fact I need to pop my jammer right now. That way I'm ready to go with my DB12 out. Okay. I don't know much about the situation right now. I know a teammate is dead to the right, so realistically someone's there. But I don't know any intel regarding who is actually on site. So what I do, I hedge my bet. So I know for a fact someone's going to be over here. So I'm going to throw into corner, which is where I typically play. And then I'm going to prime my C4 and get ready to take care of him. So C4 out, chuck it around the corner. Use the little cover here for slight cover. And we get a double kill right away. So let me go ahead and rewind that and do it at full speed. That way you see how ridiculous this looks. So grenade left, C4 to the right. Bam, sight is ours instantly. So, we don't always want to talk about how, hey, I'm like hella good and stuff like that, right? So let's continue this clip and show what happens when you try to use a gun at a range you're not technically supposed to use it. So here I drop my tugs. I, of course, have D control. So now I'm going to look towards staircase and hold down sight. Okay, hit him. 46 damage, not looking good. Hit him, and we miss our 4th shot. And let's do that at full speed, just to show how dumb it is. And obviously the DB12 is bad. But yeah, the moral of the story here is if you're going to hold an angle and your teammates are going to look at you on radar or look at you in real life and be like, oh, hey, that guy's holding that way. I'm not going to look that way. If you're going to hold an angle, be sure you hold an angle where your gun is going to get any sort of value out of it. Now, if I was to hold window and cover this like staircase or stairwell area, that's one thing, right? Or if I'm looking up here towards Alpha down into Delta, okay, that's another one. But holding long, engaging someone at like, I don't know, what's like 40, maybe 50 meters with the DB12 is a recipe for disaster. So don't do this. Don't get super greedy. Remember that you might be good, but ultimately your gun is going to determine how you can effectively play. So play to your gun's strengths. Absolutely don't play into your gun's weaknesses. Now, of course, there's situations where you don't have a choice and you're just going to have to pray, but like 9 out of 10 times, I'm realistically going to lose this engagement. It's like straight up, right? With any shotgun other than maybe the pump with slug, I'm losing this engagement. So absolutely, you should not have done this here. So that's my bad. Okay, so we die, jump back into it. I know there's at least one person at site. Now, if you notice that, if you hover over the capture point, it will tell you how many enemies are actually on the site. So here we see that there's one. Now granted, it's really hard to read. My apologies with the compression, but it's one enemy and 2 teammates. Now the caveat being, in order for you to know how many enemies are on site, you actually have to contest the site. That means at least one of your teammates has to be on site to give you that information. But if someone is contesting it, you 100% should look at the site, see how many people there are, and again, use radar to best determine where they're currently located. So I see at my radar contact here, I have my squad mate who's holding van. So what I'm gonna do, long grenade up into the corner of Alpha here. So it's important that when you grenade, in case you've never played this map, this tree completely stops grenades in their track. What will happen, you'll hit the tree, it's gonna bounce off, or worst case scenario, it's going just to simply fall. And there's no way they're going to get a kill there. So we have to get over the tree, or we get over the roof here. But I opt to push all the way far into the back of site. So I don't get the best grenade. And let me go ahead and slow motion this. But I do get it into this corner that people like to play off-site. Now, granted, again, we know one person is on-site, but that's not to say that there are enemies off-site. And for context, off-site would be these brushes and shrubbery here, these brushes and shrubbery here, and then also on the way to the site, there's a kind of side staircase that you can also camp that's technically off of site. So that's something of mine. Now, granted, I was trying to get it around the wall where this is a common camping site, but I wasn't able to get value out of it. Okay, as I jump over, I take a look around. I don't see anyone. Let's go ahead and speed this up. So I know for a fact I didn't see anyone again playing the common stall spot, which is right here. I saw him, of course, but he's off site. So that means mathematically he has to be on this van. So really bad C4. See him, get contact, confirm him. C4 round, I see a right contact with it. Get a 20 hit. That teammate, I guess, got blown up. So this time I'm not going to miss. I'm going to throw it over site. And then I'm going to get that follow-up kill. Now, let's look at our radar now. So we know that there are 3 on site. I know for a fact where one's located. I know where one was previously, but that's all I have effective intel on. So with the smoke and all the, the C4 explosion, debris, everything like that, I can't see shit. So I'm going to play this slow. Confirm the kill. Of course, we're going to drop the tugs proactively in a defensive, offensive manner. And now what I had talked about earlier is true in fruition. So I know for a fact, almost certainly, there's at least one enemy who's holding stall spot. So looking high altitude, because it's important that the C4 gets thrown so far that if I was to do like a 45-degree angle, I would go right over his head. And worst of all, C4 doesn't have the best explosion radius, so I'll literally get no damage on him. So do a high shot. It's my only C4. Wait for it to fall, and then pop it in stall. So I hit 100, I hit a 40. Now I do know that I didn't get a tech hit, and the game will tell you, oh, tech destroyed or whatever. So I know for a fact that the one person who's left on site is also still holding stall. So I'm gonna go around, see him, and basically Bob's your uncle, that's it. And then the follow-up hit on the second guy, we have all of it. So yeah, that's about it. So again, to recap this sort of situation. Pop our tech, grenade far into back of sight. No, we have a contact on van. Confirm he's there. Throw over, get it. Drop our tugs proactively. Throw into stall. Get a hit. I know there's at least one more person there. Go around and then use the flashlight on our DB9 to clean up the rest of the site. Okay. Yeah, that was how to dominate at Domination / King of the Hill Part 3. If there's any sort of map or weapon you want me to use, please let me know. I'll gladly do it for you. The next video will be about Hagenthal Base with the AK-205, which is arguably one of the worst weapons in the game. But yeah, again, tactics and positioning and knowledge in general is so more important than the weapon itself. So yeah, consider subscribing if you like what I'm doing. It's free to subscribe, of course. Also, if you really like what I'm doing on my main channel, the Tyler2K blog, aka youtube.com/Tyler2K. You can become a member where I have a lot of members only content up there. Okay, that is it for part 3. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later on.